Today we're going to talk about using leaders at the riverbank, quickly changing them over to save time, making sure you get more time for fishing and ultimately catching more fish. So I'll quickly go through this. So whenever you're out fishing, quite often you need to change your leader. You could be tangled, you could have had a fish that frayed a line, and sometimes you might have somebody following you down a pool, and ultimately that means you have to get out of the pool, let them come by, and you could lose your fishing time. So it's also for people who are maybe only nipping out for an hour after work, for example. So I use these pads. There's foam pads. This is the small one. This is the large one. And what I do is I make my own leaders up. So as you know, I use poly leaders. And then on the poly leader, I just have some tippet. So here I have a tippet of about 5 foot in length. And I already have enough section for a point fly. And then as well as that, I already have a pre-made leader in there as well. Okay, so doing this on the bank, especially with cold hands, can take a bit of time. So I pre-make them in the house. You can watch a bit of TV while you're doing it or whatever. And then I store them on this disc. Okay, now the first thing I need to do is I cut off a few slips, wee bits of tape here. You put them on the side of the table, but I'll put it here just to show you. And then you start whenever you've got your leader. First thing you need to do is just where the point fly will go. Okay. I use the thumb of my left hand to hold that down, and then I just twist it on clockwise, and I can let go of that left thumb after a while, and I can just keep on wrapping this on. Okay, and then eventually that leader is all wrapped up nice and neat, and I can put a wee bit of tape there. So that means that that's one leader stored. It's a great way as well. As you can see, it's actually quite large, so it'll actually reduce a bit of memory because you have quite a large pad there compared to the smaller. Sometimes you have a smaller tippet as well, and obviously that creates more memory. You can store quite a few of these, so I'll show you here. This is just how I store them. So this is lock setup, and this is £20. This is for spring salmon, and as you can see, I have quite a few setups already made here. And particularly on the lock, if you're drifting, you can have people drifting behind you. You don't want to have to anchor up or start again, so you need to quickly change over. So what I do is I just remove a bit of the tag, and I can just unravel the leader. And because this is my lock setup, I actually have 2 leaders set up here, or 2 droppers. So there's my leader there. There's my first dropper. Not the best on camera, I'm afraid. That's my second dropper. So that's all pre-made. That means I can just go about and get more fishing time. So that's how I store my leaders. But another great tip is actually setups as well. So say, for example, you're working late, but you have an hour to get on the river. What I do is I use these small pads. And I'll just show you here. So I have a made-up setup. So here's a park on the point. And just like a Christmas tree shrimp on the dropper. So that's all made up. Now, things could change. By the time I get out tonight, or whatever time it is, it might be lower water. So I could have a few of these set up and change as I go along. So basically what I need to do is, where the closest part of your leader, where the fly line goes, I'm going to put that onto the pad. And again, I just twist it on the way I do for the leaders. It's also good for people with poor eyesight as well, because ultimately you can do loads of these at home. And if you maybe don't have say you have sunglasses on, but you don't have the polar prescription ones. So I'm just wrapping on here. I did let that dropper hang out a bit on purpose, and then I'm going to keep on going until I hit the point fly, and then I can just put that point fly into the edges there, like that there. And I can do the dropper again the same, or I can put it at the side, it doesn't really matter. Like that there. And that means I can literally just unravel this, unravel that, and I can go out and just attach that to my line or my poly leader, and that's me good to go. And I can make up half a dozen of those for different occasions as well. So again, just stuff that you could do in the house to save time in the riverbank. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful, folks. If you did, check out my other videos. There should be a few coming on screen now. And thanks very much for watching. All the best.